Time to talk a little MaxPreps here on HQ, and here's something that we don't see very often. No changes in this week's MaxPreps Top 25, but we did get some big wins. 18 Corner Canyon out of Utah made some noise, beating Lehigh. They put up a 60-burger on them, 63-24. That put them in the 6A state championship. You see them here as we look at the 11-25. At the top, Bishop Gorman out of Las Vegas, they remain at the summit. Chaminade Madonna and St. John Bosco rounding out the top three. IMG and Mater Dei rounding out the top five. So let's talk about the weekend that was with our guys Zack Poff and Steve Montoya. Zack, we just mentioned what Corner Canyon did. They were your top team of the weekend. How impressed were you by what you saw from them there?
Jeremy, they went into halftime with 508 total yards. So the offense was just clicking. It's crazy. 508 total yards by half. A lot of teams don't even do that through four quarters. But, you know, Isaac Wilson, four-star Utah commit, the younger brother of the Jets, Zach Wilson, he's been putting on a clinic all season long. And in this game, he threw for over 400 yards and 4 tutties, rushed for over 100 yards. And he wasn't even the best player for Corner Canyon. Brighton Brady, junior running back, he had 7 touchdowns in this one. He dominated, and he tied a Utah State playoff record with those 7 total touchdowns. So this has kind of been the revenge tour for Corner Canyon, and they've just been smoking teams in the state of Utah. But the team they play on Friday, Skyridge, the same team that beat them in the 6A state championship last year, this is the team they want to get back. And I expect Isaac Wilson and Corner Canyon to have another big-time showing next Friday. But just seeing what they did last week, that was the most impressive win for me. I've been super impressed with Isaac Wilson. He's really on the short list of candidates to be named the 2023 MaxPreps National Player of the Year.
I'm going to go to the state of Oklahoma. And technically, they didn't play last week. They had a bye, but I still want to hit on them this week because they do enter playoffs now. And that's Bixby High School. They're 10-0. They're averaging over 60 points per game. 3 times this year, they have scored 70 points, so they're entering the 6A1 playoffs, and a team they may play in the finals could be Jinx. That's who they last played. They beat them 34-14. Their sophomore quarterback, Carson Kirby, threw 3 touchdowns in that game to Blake Connor Hogshooter. Yeah, Hogshooter's his last name. We got to love that. He had 3 touchdowns in that game. He's a big-time receiver for them. They also rushed for nearly 200 yards in that game. So I'm really liking the way Bixby's playing right now as they enter the Oklahoma playoffs. They're getting going this week. Should be a good one in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah, looking to stay perfect, sitting at 10-0 as they do head to the postseason. All right, in Georgia, Carolton were 40-point winners over Harrison, and Zack, sophomore quarterback Julian Lewis, a pretty easy pick for player of the week because he put on quite a show.
Yeah, when you roll into halftime, 12 out of 14 for 375 and 6 touchdowns, it's like, okay, sorry, anybody else in the entire country, I'm not picking anybody but Julian Lewis for my best player from this weekend. And then he played barely in the second half, but he's like, hey, guys, I want to break the school record for most passing touchdowns. He ended up with 7 passing touchdowns, set the school record, and he ended with 425 yards. It's always good, Jeremy, when you have more touchdown passes than incompletions. He finished 15 out of 19 and had 7 touchdowns. But, hey, the only thing Julian Lewis and Carrollton care about is getting back to that 7A state title game. And the way they have been playing since that season-opening loss against Langston Hughes, I fully expect them to make it all the way back to the state championship game. The way the offense is clicking, the defense is playing great. But, hey, Julian Lewis, only a sophomore, but he's playing like a senior the way he's throwing that thing this year.
Yeah, I'm sticking with quarterbacks. I'm going Gage Baker as my player to watch. He's from Paradise Honors in the state of Arizona. He's leading the country in both passing yards and touchdowns. He's thrown 75 touchdowns in 12 games. That's over 6 touchdowns a game. He has one game this year where he threw 10 touchdowns, another game where he threw 9. He has nearly 5,000 yards passing on the season, so he is just absolutely going off. He's leading, like I said, the country, so his stats are through the roof. He's a stat freak each and every week. His team advanced to the semifinals. They'll be playing this week. That's Gage Baker from the state of Arizona.
Hey, he's playing like that guy to your left there, Joe Montana, the way he's putting up those
That's
numbers.
Right.
All right, let's talk top play from the weekend. Zack, you're shining a light on Khalid Lockett. Tell us about him.
Yeah, 4-star junior wide receiver from Zack High School in Texas. Look at this play right here. This made me get out of my couch when I was watching on Friday.
Oh.
Full extension, one-hand tutty. He had a huge game. He had 3 touchdowns, over 200 yards. And this was not just the best catch I saw last weekend. This is arguably the best catch I've seen all season long. Dude's doing it big in Texas. They did lose the game, but he's going to probably end up on MaxPreps top 10 plays of the year with this touchdown grab. There's a reason why he's getting a lot of D1 offers.
Yeah, my play this week is a bit unusual, and it's why I picked it. It's St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Louisiana. Jonathan Bickford here is kicking a PAT to win the game. The score is tied up, and I want you to watch where the ball is snapped from the center. So that was tough to see, but you'll see it again right here. It's literally on the ground, and he kicks it off the ground because it's a low snap. It's literally on the grass, and so he just has to kick it off the grass. And he does, and he kicks it up and through the upright for the game-winning PAT. I've never seen that before. That's why I wanted to go with it this week. It's literally not in the holder's hands. It's on the ground. So I don't know what Ace Ventura would say on that one, but I don't know if the laces were out. But either way, it went through the uprights.
Good call there. I mean, yeah, you got to slow it down to see it, right? I mean, you blink and you miss it. So real nice job there, Steve, highlighting that one. All right, we talked about the top 25 staying the same this week, but maybe we get some movement next week with ranked on ranked action. Zach, tell us about the MaxPreps game of the week.
Yeah, we came out with our top 10 toughest playoff brackets last week, and the CIF Southern Section Division I bracket checked the number 1 spot. And the main reason why is because we get these semifinal matchups. But our game of the week is going to be number 3 St. John Bosco. They're hosting number 19 Corona Centennial. Now, Corona Centennial, they do have 2 losses, but those 2 losses came to Mater Dei and Bishop Gorman, 2 top 5 teams. They've won 7 in a row heading into Friday's contest. I think this is going to be a very competitive game. But St. John Bosco, this is a team, they're resilient. Ever since that loss against Kahuku, that really kind of molded them into the team we're seeing every Friday night now. And they really still have a chance to finish the year at number 1 if they can run through the semifinals and win the D1 section championship and the Open Division state title. But this is going to be a get your popcorn ready game on Friday, Jeremy. Who knows, man? There's rumors swirling. I might actually bring popcorn on Friday's show. So there's a good chance of that. But, hey, this is going to be a fun game, man. The CIF Southern Section D1 semifinals, we got 2 top 25 matchups, and I can't wait for Bosco and Corona Centennial on Friday night, man. It's going to be nice.
Zach, it's playoff time, man. You should be bringing the popcorn every week when it's playoff time.
I know.
Zach Poff, Steve Montoya from MaxPreps recapping another big weekend in high school football for us here on HQ. Great stuff, guys. We'll see you on Friday. That ranked on ranked game between Corona Centennial and St. John Bosco, one of 2 notable ranked games this week. We also get 21 Sierra Canyon visiting 5 Mater Dei late Friday night. The Monarchs looking to end Canyon's perfect season. And 11-1 Center Grove take on 11-1 Ben Davis. One of those 2 will suffer their 2nd loss of the season. And for everything high school sports related, not just football, but you're checking out MaxPreps. Zach and all the staff there working their tails off to keep you updated on all the high school sports stories across the country. There's also the MaxPreps Top 25. Check it all out at maxpreps.com.